Welcome to our 5 on 5. Pleased to be joined today by Bill Froelich, Jackson County Sheriff candidate. Good to see you, Bill. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate that.
Yeah, my pleasure. So you've lived in Oregon 9 years now after a career in law enforcement in Utah. Why should voters elect you sheriff?
I believe I bring to the table a width and a breadth of experience. I've had 30 years in law enforcement. My educational background is a master's degree in organizational management, and I also have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and abnormal psychology. And to go with that, the supervisory abilities that I have gotten over the years, especially in the department where I retired from. I managed over 36 officers, 4 sergeants, and as acting division commander, over 100 officers. And the call volume and the critical incidents that occurred while I was working are probably triple what's been experienced here in this valley. And I have worked for a smaller sheriff's office, a small one like this one, and I understand how county sheriff's office operate. And so I believe that by working for the smaller agencies in the rural areas and ending up where I was in the metro, I have a balance to offer to the folks. And as my moniker goes, I'm the citizen sheriff, and that's what I'm really concerned about is the folks. And for the last 18 months, I've been doing a lot of talking to them and finding out some pretty interesting things.
So both you and your opponent, the sheriff, agree a new jail is needed. How should voters be separating you guys, if there is any separation on this issue?
I think there is a separation in terms of philosophy. The voters at one point had stated, we don't want to spend $100 million right now. We're being taxed to death. And I understand where they're coming from because I, like you, we all pay taxes. I think that a well thought out process needs to be viewed in this matter, along with the taxpayers, the public, the citizens' input in what's going on and better communicated in that manner. And so my difference is before you can treat an emergency, and this truly is an emergency here in the Valley, you have to stop the bleeding. I put forth a research project that we could take 121 to 300 people off the street that need to be brought into the jail and stop causing the problems that they're causing. And this was viewed as, well, maybe that's not an alternative, but I believe you need to put ideas out there so that people understand there's options. The only option that's been offered on the table in the last 2 years has just been this big jail issue, and my philosophy is different on that. Prepare it, we need it, but you need to prepare it very well. And there's been 2 years to prepare, and 3 weeks before the election we hear the plan, and that concerns me and it concerns the people that I've talked to.
We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Sure.
We'll have much more in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Jackson County Sheriff candidate Bill Froelich. You and your opponent, the sheriff, have already appeared together multiple times.
Yes, we have.
Forums, town halls, debates. What do you think is the biggest difference between you?
I believe it's management philosophy. Again, taking care of the public. I want to restore the confidence and trust in the sheriff's office that's not out there right now. And this comes from the 18 months that I spent visiting the citizens in the county. This is one of the biggest issues that they have with me, service. The sheriff's office, like any other law enforcement organization, is customer related. You perform a service. They pay your wages through taxes. You perform a service. It has to be done courteously and effectively and in depth. And that's the concerns that the citizens are bringing to me time after time. It's a consistent thing. That's why I look at consistency is based on if you're getting 5 or 6 answers from someone and you go through a lot of people and those same consistent answers are coming out, they're showing that you have a trend that's reliable and it's documented. And I believe that that's what they're telling me. So this is a big philosophy difference for me. Again, offering the trust and confidence that they want in the sheriff's office that isn't there now.
You spoke about the jail. What changes would you look to implement early on if elected as sheriff?
Early on with the jail, I would try to fix the staffing problem that's going on down there now. These jail deputies are working 18, 19, 20 to 35 hours per pay period. That's every 2 weeks with overtime that's forced. If you don't have as many overtime hours as someone else, then you're forced into staying. After a while, this has a very negative effect on the morale of the department. Also, when you have 314 inmates in a jail and because you're short on staffing and you're running that jail with 4 or 5 jail officers on an overnight shift, that's dangerous and it creates issues liability wise and again for the deputies because they're placed in a position they shouldn't be in. So my attitude and philosophy change also is to take care of the manpower issues. Fix that first as you go along while you're working with this jail plan, how it turns out. but you have to take care of your folks. That's the number one issue, I think, in the jail right now is the staffing.
Thanks for coming. Good to meet you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be right back.